Plaintiff Arcady Jank says she and the defendant were high school sweethearts, and after graduation, they moved in together. Arcady claims the defendant was a great role model for her daughter, but soon after they moved in together, they broke up and the defendant moved out, so she's suing for a lease termination fee. Defendant Jacob Richardson says a month and a half after he moved in with Arcady and her daughter, he realized he wasn't ready to start a family and be a father figure. Jacob feels he should only be responsible for half of the lease termination fee, but says he hasn't even seen a bill.
Prove your case.
Okay, Your Honor. Jacob and I started dating our junior year in high school. We were high school sweethearts. I had a daughter from a previous relationship.
Hey.
What?
Yeah. Can you make sure you're looking all around? It's like you're fixated on me.
I wasn't that bad.
You were. Go ahead, ma'am.
She has that effect.
I don't mean to have him make you nervous. Feel free.
Oh, no.
We have him under control. Go ahead.
So I do have a daughter from a previous relationship. So Jacob and my daughter got along very well. They adored each other. And
I love kids.
Do you have a dog? He's going to say he loves dogs. You have a cat? He's going to say he loves cats.
We went to prom together.
You walk around with rollers in your hair, he's going to say he loves women that walk around with rollers in their hair. Go ahead. He wants to make sure he tells you you're compatible.
Perfect. So the summer after we graduated our senior year, we spent all of our time together, so we decided to move in to an apartment together.
When?
In 2008, September 2008.
What was the agreement?
Both of our names were on it, and it was a year-long lease.
Okay. Half and half?
Yes.
Okay. What happened? Did you all fall out?
Well, after about a month and a half, Jacob had lost his job, so I started I paid all of our bills for a while, but I felt it was imperative that he did get a job and look for a job as soon as possible because I couldn't afford to have that financial burden.
So you all broke up?
Well, essentially, yes. I mean, we did get in a fight, and it ended there.
That's called breaking up.
Yeah, well, yes, but he disappeared, stopped talking to him.
We caught up with him today. Sir, she's suing about a lease termination fee, but before we get to that, you want to give me some background? She says that you all were doing all right, you moved in together, and you had a rental agreement together, and you all fell out about something, and that's perhaps what caused the breakup, and you ran off. Give me some background.
Yeah, well, like she said, we started dating our junior year of high school. And by the end of senior year, we were, a strong relationship. So we decided to move in because she was always staying over at my house. And we probably lived there, I would say a month and a half, before I started, getting a little scared, because we were kind of starting a family, being like that father figure. So I lost my job and I just moved out, and she told me she was gonna have her best friend move in, but her best friend didn't, so she broke the lease. She asked me for money once, but I didn't have a job, so I couldn't pay anything.
So your defense to not paying is you didn't have a job anymore? I
didn't have a job, and also she never gave me a bill. She didn't tell me the amount what we owed. And she only asked me for money once. Did you all ever discuss it while you were living with her? No, because we broke up and I moved out.
Okay. How does he owe you the $2,280? What months, and how does it come to that amount?
Okay, so the lease agreement was that if you were to break the lease prior to the year agreement that we had both signed, it would be a penalty of $2,800 or $2,200. I'm sorry, and 80. So we both agreed and signed to that, and unfortunately,
that doesn't include the actual rent. That's just a termination fee?
Yes, I believe it's 2 months rent.
How much was the rent per month?
$800.
Well, you do know that. Just didn't bother to discuss how you were going to pay it. Good enough.
Okay,
Go ahead.
and so he didn't let me know that I needed to break the lease. I was trying to find somebody to replace him, but I couldn't. So I was forced to break the lease on my own. Therefore, and then it was taken to collections because obviously I couldn't afford $2,000 some dollars right up front. It was taken to collections where I had to pay $300 to $400 a month until
What
I
is
paid
the total amount you were required to pay during the collections process?
$2,280.
All right. Why do you think he should pay it all rather than half?
Because I didn't want to break the lease. I was forced to on my own. I was kind of sort of abandoned along with my daughter, so I did not want to have to break
Sir,
that
do you
lease.
have a defense to not paying anything on the
well,
termination fee that she had to endure by
I agree
a
that I
collection
have to
agency?
pay half, but not the full amount. She never gave me a bill, so I don't even know what we were supposed to pay.
Yeah. Ma'am, unfortunately,
not true.
he's not accountable for any more than half. That was the agreement, that he pay half the rent. People take the risk when they move in with people and put their names on a lease or co-sign for others. They take the risk that that person is not going to pay it. You had a responsibility to try and find someone. You tried and you couldn't. So it fell back on you. And in this case, he would owe half, $1,140, because that was his liability. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
And I was just settling down, kind of being a family, stuff like that. I wasn't ready to do that. I was just getting out of high school, so.
Well, she was 2 years old, so obviously a 2-year-old couldn't comprehend the consequences of the absence of somebody. So I just said, we won't be seeing him anymore. So I guess that is the extent of what she can comprehend.